Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for EAT organizers for inviting me here. And you uprooted me in the farm today. And it's my time to wear 6 inches heels because I'm usually barefoot or in my boots. So anyways, when I walk on the ground, I can make holes and we can plant seed after it. It's still food security, right? So I have a picture here on how I started actually teaching farmers. I started when I was 12. So this year, I just celebrated my 19 years in teaching farmers, and next year would be my 20th years, or 2 decades. When I was 11 and turning 12, my mom is very strict every time that we have our birthday, or every year. We can only receive a gift during Christmas or during our birthday. And that time, I read a book, and the book says, if you're poor, 100% of your income goes to food. You will not think about education of your children or new shelter or clothing. 70% goes to rice and 30% goes to viand. It depends on what region in Asia you are. But in the Philippines, it's usually 30% rice and 70% viand that you partner with your rice. And it says in the book, though, that if you plant vegetables around your house, you can actually save 70%. And now you can think of putting that money into something else. So I asked my mom, can I have a bike on my birthday? And my mom is so strict. What? A bike on your birthday? I said, I want to teach farmers. And my mom was sold out with my proposition. She gave me a bike, and I started teaching farmers for 3 years. And I told my mom, one day I'll be an agribusiness entrepreneur that could build a business that would give back to farmers. And I put up a company. It's called Agrea. These are my team. We're like football in terms of teamwork. We're trained as Marines and work hard like farmers and smart like Silicon Valley guys in terms of innovations. So we're a very youthful team. This is my operations, but we have a very wise board and advisory board of great entrepreneurs, And so most of us are very adept in terms of technology innovations and working with farmers. And we're also very adventurous in going to farming places and communities to change their lives and do innovations with connection to local wisdom. And we also develop young environmentalist farmers. I open a farm school. It's accredited by our government. So we actually enroll a lot of out-of-school youth and a lot of farmers to go into farming because farmers are endangered species. Farmers in the Philippines are 57 years old in average age. Globally, it's 58. Who will feed all of us in the next 10 years? So there's a need for that. And these are the amazing team I have in my model farm and in the farm school. And now we have a target of listing 16,000 young farmers in our farm school, and the government is willing to pay us to train all of them. And we also have a program for rural youth in agriculture. A lot of youth in rural areas would like to go in the cities. I said, no, we need to reverse migrate. In Manila alone, in Metro Manila, it's so traffic. We're #1 in traffic. It's because we have 22 million people in one metro. It's crazy. So we said, let's reverse migrate. Let's keep the youth in the rural communities to stay and see opportunities and wealth in the land. When people would see dirt in soil, let's need to see gold in soil. So we also have programs for urban youth. These young kids, they are actually the daughters of the executives of food and manufacturing companies present in the Philippines. You can name all of them. And some of them are daughters of the owners of big companies. So we have an agri-summer immersion program for them. No yayas allowed or nannies allowed. No drivers allowed. No security or bodyguards allowed. Your parents will sign a waiver. I'll train your kids. No other canned goods allowed, or you cannot request any kind of food. You eat what the farmers are eating. You live where the farmers are living. And one time, after the agri-summer immersion, one of the parents called me up. Cherrie, what did you do to my daughter? Now she's asking me, Dad, where are we sourcing our raw materials to produce this in our factory? Imagine the impact. You have now a conscience present in your house, and it's your daughter. If you're a dad, you need to take big and bold action about it. So this one, we do it every summer, and this is very close to my heart. Last February, we opened a program in Brunei, in the Philippines, together with the U.S. Embassy Brunei, and the government of Brunei, we had an application, surprisingly, of more than 2,000 young entrepreneurs all over Southeast Asian nations. So we're working on developing agritourism programs all over Southeast Asian countries. And so I showcased them. We did glamorous camping. You know, how can you make farming sexy if you go camping and it's so itchy, it's not good, you know, it's not fun. So we did glamorous camping, and we ate healthy. We were taught by very, very prestigious and successful agri-entrepreneurs in the Philippines and in Southeast Asia. And this one was a very successful. Right now, we're developing a lot of programs in 10 Southeast Asian countries. And this one is a program I launched last August. It's funded by the U.S. Embassy Manila. You know, I turned on the TV last night and I saw Marawi, and that's my beloved country. You know, there's a war happening there right now. And half of these youth leaders here are actually survivors of that war. So we created a program for them. It's called Grow, Dream, Awake, and Cultivate. You know, and half of them are Muslims, half of them are from 10 indigenous communities present in Mindanao. And one of the key there is actually a son of a chieftain. And he told me after the program, Ate means big sister, I will do something in my community. I will build the first agritourism destination in an indigenous community in Mindanao, so that people will not say that, oh, there's a war in Mindanao. Next time, people would say, there's grand thing that is happening in Mindanao, and it's my agritourism farm. It's my business. We also work with the Philippine Rice Research Institute for agri-doctors. So these are licensed social workers and licensed agriculturists. We're developing them to be agri-doctors, so that when they go to communities, it's not about just the transfer of technology. It's really about connecting to people, teaching the farmers how to make proposals, teaching the farmers how valuable their work are. And this one, we work with the Department of Education in the Philippines, especially in the island of Marinduque, where my farm is based. We are building 183 school gardens around the island. So these gardens are actually present. We have 19 school gardens right now, and the Department of Education and the Department of Agriculture, they're loving this. Unfortunately, there's so much demand because the parents, when the children come home, it's not the assignment that they're bringing. They bring eggplant, tomatoes, okra, and their parents are like, where did you get those? They said, oh, we farm in our school. So now the parents want to join the program and the teachers. And, you know, I said this last time in the World Economic Forum event when I was invited to speak. I said, let's make farming cool, you know, smart, sexy, and humane. You know, cool, it's because we need to make it hip for young people, that it's a lifestyle. We need to make it smart by connecting it to ICT, to climate change technologies. We need to make it sexy by making it fashionable. You know, I cannot be talking here about sexy if I'm so in dirt right now. You know, we need to make it humane by making it more impactful. And meaning of humane, when I was sick, I'll just tell you something. My mom told me, Cherrie, if you want to dream big, don't be scared. But you need to connect and you need to know the shortest distance in life. The shortest distance in life is the distance between your brain and your heart. If you don't know how to connect those while you're dreaming, forget about your dream. But if you want to dream, connect the distance of your brain and your heart and dream big and you'll be successful. And you need to share your success to everyone. Thank you so much.